Y'all making me hungry. Y'all making me hungry. All this talk about lemon pepper rings, hot lemon pepper, honey hot. Ooh, hot lemon pepper wings while sipping on the Greenwood NIL whiskey. I know that's right. Now you talking about getting dragged all up and across down the field. Just you go this way, and you go that way, and you go this way, and you go that way. Lord have mercy. This is what happens when you come across a true offense. Okay. If you thought Bethune-Cookman was doing something, putting 400 plus, watch what we can do. Watch what we can do. In the words of the great Irv Mulligan, what's a bulldog to a tiger? What's a bulldog to a tiger? Just over there wasting grass over there in Alabama. Why y'all had us over there wasting grass? We just over there just wasting grass, Lord. Just it's an exhibition. Spring game. Ouch. That hurt. That hurt. You know what? I think they was keeping it respectful because technically, if we really wanted to, we could have hit 60 plus on you. It could have, We just kept it respectful. Went ahead and took Jacobian out with 5 minutes left in the fourth quarter, and we called it a night. That's enough. That's enough. That's enough. Call the dogs off. Call the dogs off. Everybody say that they a dog until you meet. Okay? Everybody says that they are a dog until you meet some real dogs. And then, oh, y'all, why y'all do them like that? Oh, those poor dogs. Oh. Willie Little, we're literally battling your life with an O and now 5 team. Respectfully, you got to sit this one out, son. You got, sir. Respectfully, if you from Prairie View and you were struggling offensively with an 0-5 team, you don't need to be saying nothing. Oh, that's what I like to see. You see, just that's what I like to hear. It's 100 degrees in Texas. They should be on shortly. I'm actually getting ready to have a special guest. A very special guest is getting ready to come on. So ooh. What you say now? G ain't going, he's definitely down in the SWAC on a bright Saturday. The Tigers from Jackson State came out to play. They stretched and they roared, they jumped with flair, while the Alabama A&M Bulldogs bark. We'll win if we dare. But oh, what a sight when the whistle blew. The Tiger said, what's that you said you was going to do? They pounced and they bounced, they leapt and they tore. And by halftime, just look at the score. Hey, my favorite co-host that I love doing shows with.
So this is what's called you blew it. Now face the people.
You gonna face the music.
You don't run from it.
Uh-huh.
You don't make excuses. You just get right up and you say, hey, y'all smoked us.
Oh, Lord have mercy.
They beat us up every which way but loose.
What happened? What happened?
So, okay, here's real easy. Real easy what happened. Defense. You know, I specifically said we weren't going to be able to stop Jackson State. I said I thought we could maybe contain y'all in segments.
Mm-hmm.
I should have stopped at we won't be able to stop y'all. I could have stopped right there and left that alone. But honestly, I won't be, there's no way possible that I can even say that Jackson State will be beaten by anybody. I said 10-1 at the beginning of the year, and I stand by that 10-1. From what I saw today, and I'll be honest with you and all your followers. Be honest with you and all the followers. It looked like there was a refocus that was done after all of the penalties. Because if you remember what TC said on Monday, when I asked him about, penalties and all of the different, disciplinary things that they needed to clean up, there was a level of focus that I hadn't seen in the previous 4 games. That even includes the Southern game. Like I saw a level of focus that I hadn't seen, like on all phases. Facts, all phases. You could take your pick on anybody. Now, what I will say, there are things that I was a little bit concerned about at the end. I wish that some of like Quincy Ivory, hope he's gonna be good. I wish that he wasn't in the game at the end, had an ankle injury or whatever. Hopefully he's good.
Quad Brown as well.
Yeah, Quad Brown as well. But Quad really wasn't 100% going in. He tried. He gave his best. I like the fact that our offense, we played and we kept fighting, but defensively, we're not there. And this is probably going to be what we're going to have issues with the entire season. We're probably, to win most of the games that we're going to play, we're probably going to have to outscore people. And most of the teams that you play, if you're trying to outscore people, you're going to have big issues. So I know I'm going to talk about the games and all that stuff tomorrow night. And I know I'm going to talk about Alabama State against you guys next week on Wednesday, but I can honestly tell you right now, from what I've seen, if y'all come with this kind of level of focus and attention to detail, you can forget it. If executing, you can forget it. Just forget it.
So in the chat, they wanted to ask, like, why do you think that the Coach Shade continued to play quad even after the game was obviously not winnable?
I think part of it you have to look at is, Quad is a gamer and this is his last year of college football. And I think that it's just a part of you want to just continue to go out there and keep fighting. That's just really the best way I can say that.
Right. And he did talk about how important this game was at SWAC Media Day. He said that he's from Alabama, that the place that they were playing at in Lad Peoples, that he actually played in a bowl there in 2020, and he was the MVP there. So he did talk about how important that this game was to him.
Yeah. And I see people talking about this is the first time I've ever seen Wild Wayne without a hat. Yeah, I'm not at home. I'm at my parents' house up here in Cleveland. For those that don't know, I'm also a cross country and track official. So I did a meetup here today. But I wanted to jump on here and I wanted to say to everybody, because a lot of folks, they'll sit up there and they'll say anything. And then you bust them and then you tag them and then you don't hear from them for months. Forget all that.
Quiet. They get quiet. They don't face the music.
Forget all that. I said what I believed. It ain't work. We got whooped. We gave up 700 plus yards. It is what it is, man. The sun will come up tomorrow. We go on.
So you guys actually did get 347 passing yards
yes.
on the game on today. Your rushing yards were 59, but I think it kind of actually, in terms of your offense, it kind of mimicked Bethune-Cookman as well in terms of not being able to rush that well.
Correct. Yeah, we've had trouble rushing the ball all year, to be honest, though. We don't have, how like we've had the last couple of years, we've had like Donovan Eaglin, and then like even like in recent memory, we had like Jordan Bentley. We just don't have a game breaking, like a back that can, break away, take it to the house. You know what I'm saying?
And I'm sure that's like part of the recruiting that Coach Sam Shade will look for in the offseason is, of course, the offensive line, the defensive line, and definitely investing in that running back room, because if you don't have a run game, then it's hard to open up the passing game. In this particular game, I feel like the run game opened up those airwaves for Jacobian to actually throw the deep balls. So
yeah. And the thing that I said going into this week that was a big concern about our defense also was the fact that we always give up so many explosive plays. And to this point, really most of the scores that we were giving up, we weren't giving up like drives. We were giving up explosive plays. Like everything that Bethune-Cookman scored on us last week was a play that was 20 yards or more. And so the thinking is like, hey, if we can clean up some of these explosive plays, because some of this stuff was coverage, lack of attention to detail, some of it would miss a tackle, those different things. But today, you saw all of it. It was, this was just really physically, they were outclassed physically. Also, there were some things that they did too, like in coverage. So Janalen Dupree was wide open at least 3 times I can recall. And then also like the touchdown to Shamar Savage, he's gonna beat that kid. He's beat that kid in one-on-one coverage. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't for a lack of effort, but it's just like in some regards, it's like we were overmatched in many areas. And I just thought that to beat this team, and I still stand by this, to beat Jackson State, you're probably going to have to get in a shootout with them.
Right. And that's the thing, the shootout situation. That's, you're going over it this week with Alabama State versus Jackson State.
Exactly.
The shootout, it's definitely going to be about shootouts, matchups, coverage, and our DBs staying on point and like not having as many penalties, not having passing interference calls. Like this is going to be monumental in this weekend's game. But it's exciting to see Alabama State scoring all those points against Bethune-Cookman Jackson State scoring all the points against Alabama A&M, because we're going to meet in the middle in Jackson, Mississippi. And that's where you're going to see, for me, I think Bethune-Cookman still scored 35 points.
Yeah, it was still 30, and they still had over 500 yards of offense. And that was even with Cam'Ron Ransom getting injured in the second quarter and not playing the rest of the game. Yeah.
So that just kind of, it puts a question mark there for me for Alabama State's defense. It's not the same defense.
It's not the same defense. No. Mm-mm.
So if it's not the same defense as it was last year, the only thing that I can say to Alabama State is good luck.
Like I will tell y'all right now, I don't want to be a spoiler for what I'm going to say on Wednesday, but from what I've seen initially and what I watched of this game today and the focus that I'm seeing of this group now and the execution that's now there, listen, I think one of the worst things or one of the best things that could have happened to Jacoby Morgan was the general public getting on him and people saying he trash and all this different kind of stuff. I think that he really took that personally. And what you've seen of him the last 2 weeks, you've seen a different Jacoby Morgan. The focus is there. The accuracy is definitely there. It's there.
700 yards of offense. Oh my God.
And y'all know, and everybody in here knows, they've heard me say about Jacoby Morgan. They know I've been a fan of Jacoby Morgan from the beginning. I always knew he could run the ball, but you remember the thing I always said about him was just be consistent. Mm-hmm. And what I've seen the last 2 games, if he just continues to go on this upward trend, that's the best version of him. And when you get the best version of him like that, it's going to be hard to beat these guys, especially when he's throwing. I mean, the first touchdown to Savage, like, that was a tremendous throw because the defender that we had there covering on that play, he had good coverage. The ball was in the right place.
He threw 70% today. QBR 201.9, 21 completions for 30 attempts, 314 yards, 4 touchdowns, with his longest being 60 yards. And then he rushed for 123 yards, net of 120, and he had 1 touchdown. And his longest rushing was 35 yards.
Yeah, so he's getting that consistency in his accuracy. And then, like, here in the comments, no turnovers. Second week in a row, he didn't turn the ball over. And so you keep this upward trend with that, and that's the best version of him. And that's I think that was one of the things that he really needed was, I know that he heard people criticizing him, but now he's rolling.
So for me, I just was like, we're just waiting on the passing game to open up. That's what we were waiting on, and that is what it takes to be a complete team. This week, the only thing that I would say that may have a question mark in terms of being a complete team is the special teams. I'm not sure because, like I said, Baeza is one of the most accurate kickers in the SWAC prior to this year. And so I'm not sure if it's the long snapper, which it might be the long snapper setting up of the ball, because another kicker came in and he missed as well. So I'm not sure if it's the long snapper or what, but that particular not having a handle on that, is very dangerous.
Yeah, and it was crazy because I said that in my group chat with my From the Hill podcast people. I said Baeza is starting to miss kicks because he missed 2 last week, and I was like, he's been a consistent kicker,
right?
And so when I saw that they changed the kicker, I was like,
I think it's the long snapper. I don't want to blame the long snapper, but the other kicker came in and he booted it and missed it as well. But to his point, we do have multiple punters on the field, on the roster. We still have multiple punters. We still have multiple kickers. And like Granny Ann says, special teams will be all right. They are still able to punt the ball into enemy territory, which is above all the most important. But you don't want to miss out on those 3 points and 1 points. You don't want to miss
Right.
out on that. Yeah. So.
Yeah, it was really, really good. I see a lot of people putting in the comments about Shamar Savage, and yeah, it was really good. He's been something that, you guys had only seen him really have one real play heading into this game. And so, like, it is good for you guys to have him be active and making the contributions. And man, like I said, it was a different focus today. Now, you guys still had 10 penalties, which again, now let me say this about these penalties. There were a couple penalties. Now, y'all know me, man. I see this thing straight across the board. There were a couple penalties. I'm like, what in the world? Come on, man. What are we doing here? Like, there were a couple holding calls. I was like, what are we doing here? That they call against you guys. I'm like, what are we doing here? Like, what is this? Because you know me, you know how I feel about SWAC refs, man. Anybody who knows me, I'm over these SWAC refs because I always feel like at some point there's gonna come a time where they're gonna blow a call. Now they blew one against Grambling with Kentucky State. You had that one, but then there's always these games where it's just like you'll see 3, 4, 5 flags, and you're like, and you watch other games. Like you'll watch some Power 4 games. Now, I'm not trying to compare us to Power 4, so I'm not trying to say that, but you'll watch Power 4 games and you can see some of the same stuff be done in those games. And they don't even throw flags. Like these flags that get thrown, it messes with the flow of the game, the complete flow of the game. And you know what? Y'all can say all the jokes you want. Look, we earned it. We earned all the jokes. So I'm up here laughing with it. We earned all of it.
Lord, we had to send y'all to the dog pound. We had to send y'all to the dog pound. Y'all was doing a lot of barking this week. Woo, y'all was barking a lot this week. We heard it. We heard the noise. Because a lot of folks are saying this ain't the same offense and defense of last year. So I'm guessing Jackson State heard the noise and said,
y'all didn't hear me say that. You didn't hear me say that. I got full footage that says I never said that. Some folks, though, they just be typing stuff. They just say stuff. And if you think we said stuff, man, you just imagine all the stuff you're gonna hear this week. I can already see it. Yeah, you know what happened last time we came to y'all homecoming.
Oh Lord, they better stop. All I have to say is that Coach TC Taylor is undefeated in get back games. He's never lost a get back game. From the outset, when he first got here, South Carolina State, MEAC SWAC Challenge, that was the first game that he had, and we whooped up on them something terrible. Lord have mercy. They said that Jackson State just scored again.
Look, they say I've been waiting for Wild Wayne. I'm here, man. I don't run from nobody.
Say Wild Wayne is not ducking no smoke, and you can see him tomorrow in his recap show. He is going to be going live as well to go over
and gonna say exactly what happened. Ain't about to sugarcoat nothing. But I'll even add this too. I found out yesterday that our tight end Abner was injured.
I did not know that, because you know what? I actually, which I was correct on your I was correct on the wide receiver here. I was correct on here. I was expecting Abner to come to be to definitely show up I
Yeah,
wasn't
I found
sure.
out yesterday that he had a foot injury, and
Oh my
he
goodness.
wasn't going to play. And I was like, "Cool, well, shoot." I said that was part of my that was part of my
Abner is the I think he has the most, well, maybe not after this game, but Abner going into this game had the most receiving yards.
Yeah, that was part of
So
my prediction. I was like, he would be a matchup. He would be a matchup changer.
yeah, that's definitely a change, is the fact that you didn't have Abner out there. Pierre was as advertised. Of course, I had Dupree, Janalian Dupree, as my ace in the hole, and he
Yeah, you were
proved me
right on
right
that.
today. Davenport, he did really well today as well. Ashton Taylor was actually out. Kamari Rogers had a couple of pass breakups. And then, Jeremiah Williams is Jeremiah Williams. I was really impressed. I always say that the defense is what the defense is. Quincy Ivory had 3 solo tackles, 7 assist tackles for 10 total tackles, 1 tackle for loss. Chase Ward, congratulations to Chase Ward. He's one of our recruits that came in, I want to say the year before last, and he
Mhm.
linebacker / tight end when he was coming in. He had 4 solo tackles and 2 assist tackles. He had 1 tackle for loss as well. So I'm excited for the remainder of the season.
Yep.
Um, Cam Salas was doing some hard hitting. Good Lord.
Yeah, he was. I was like, but that's Cam Salas though. That
Good
dude,
Lord.
he's
Like
physical.
you don't want to, like, if you see him, I'm not, I ain't got the ball. I'm out.
Honestly, preseason, I thought that Reed Pulliam would be like, I said this, I thought Reed Pulliam would be like Robert McDaniel last year. It's actually Cam Salas is like Robert McDaniel from last year.
Mm-hmm.
Dude can cover, and he come down in the box, and he's
Mm-hmm.
not afraid to get in the mix.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I mean, he knocked
And then
the.
also, sometimes when you have that dominant of a front,
Mm-hmm.
that sometimes it conceals the linebacker play. I feel like that we will see our linebacker play more in the Alabama State game, because you're going to have a quarterback like Andrew Body who will take off,
Yep.
so you're going to put that linebacker in the intermediate waves, so that just in case they need to catch Andrew Body. So I expect linebacker play to be really monumental in next week's game.
Yeah, I think about you guys, your schedule the rest of the way. You got this game next week against Alabama State, which you need no further. You don't need any more motivation than you already need to with the stakes of the game. Then you guys get another bye week, and then you go to Vegas, and then you go to FAMU, and y'all know, I said this a couple shows ago. I said that if you guys had won the first 5 in the SWAC, just everybody, it don't matter. People in the West, just go ahead on, make your plans to get to Jackson on December 6th, because you win those first 5, it's over. They said, Ty B, you okay, Wayne? Man, I'm more than good. I'm great.
He said he already had anticipation. He was believing in his Alabama
I'm
A&M
great.
Bulldogs, but
I'm
he
great.
knew
It ain't the
what
first
could happen
time. It ain't the
on the
last
long.
time I'm gonna miss a pick, and it ain't the last time that my team gonna get smashed. It just is what it is.
So moving forward, for the rest of the season, what is your outlook for Alabama A&M moving
Yeah.
forward?
So I originally said that we would finish 5-7,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
But inside of that 5-7, I said that we would lose to Alcorn. We beat them. I said we would lose to Tennessee State. We beat them, right?
Mm-hmm.
So where I'm going now is, I think if we can get to maybe 7. And also inside of that 7, what we still have in front of us, we've got Magic City Classic. And we also have FAMU coming. We also got Prairie View coming to us also. Because we play Prairie View and FAMU in consecutive weeks in November. So really conceivably, a lot of us, for our fan base, we really want to win the Magic City Classic. Now, obviously, the performance that we played today and the performance that we had last week on defense, if we were to play Alabama State right now, it ain't happening. I'll say that on record right now.
I think that the way that Alabama State defense has been allowing the scoring, it would be one of those shootouts.
It would be a shootout, but I just don't really believe the way that we played defense today. If we played that same way against Alabama State, I mean, okay, it's not 57-24. It may be like 45-30. You know what I'm saying? But obviously that game is still 3 weeks away, so anything can happen, right?
And you guys have a very formidable QB too.
Yeah, and we need what we need, and I will honestly say this: what we need. We play Valley next week for homecoming, and then we have a much needed bye week because we're beaten up. We got a lot of injuries, and we sustained some key injuries today, and so. After we get off our bye week, then we have the Magic City Classic, and then we start that November run. We go to Grambling, who we've beaten 3 years in a row, and then we get Prairie View at home, and then we get FAMU at home. And so I think that realistically, I think we can get to 7-5.
That's a great first year run.
Yeah, great first year. I mean, based off of the way our offense plays, I mean, honestly, I hate to say it, we're probably going to lean on our offense to win us most of our games moving forward. But I think Magic City Classic, if we can win that, and finish with a winning record, many of our fans would say, yeah, sign me up for that. Seriously. But it's just going to take more time. It's got a lot more time that the Sam Shade needs to build. And, he's a defensive guy, and he doesn't quite have the personnel that he wants.
Right.
So he's just got to continue to work and get that. And, we'll see what happens moving forward. But as far as today, we were overmatched, beat by a great opponent. That's focused. That's got it going. You guys are rolling. And I'll say this also, and I never have to pretend. I'm a fan of every HBCU team except for the 4 hours that you play us. I don't have a problem with no team. Team. A lot of folk out here, they say, well, I hate this team. I hate them. Listen, the teams that I can't stand, I have a list of teams that I can't stand in the NFL. Sorry to Dallas Cowboy fans. That's Lord. One team that I don't like. I don't like the Dallas Cowboys. I don't like the New York Yankees in baseball. In college football, I was so happy today. I can't stand Penn State. Them jokers lost to a winless UCLA.
Damn.
Yes. And I also did not like Notre Dame, but I really love Marcus Freeman. So I root for Notre Dame only because Marcus Freeman is their coach. And when he don't coach them no more, I will go back to having them on the list. But as far as HBCUs, there ain't a single HBCU team that I don't root for. And yes, that includes Alabama State. You know why? Because we all have a lot of struggles that we share together. And we all need to continue to root for one another and try and pull each other up and try to support one another. And that's one of the biggest reasons why I chose to get into the space and dedicate all of my focus and my talents towards it. My wife will tell you, I don't sit there on Saturdays and watch PWI games. I watch nothing but our stuff.
Right.
I'll sit there with ESPN Plus on. I had a phone on SWAC TV, HBCU Go, whatever it needs to be, because the coverage is necessary. And I'm just giving everything that I have that I can do to it. So I root for everybody, except for when you play Alabama A&M. Now, when y'all play next week against Alabama State, Look, honestly, I hope it's a classic. Whoever wins, I just hope it's a classic. Because honestly, I'll even say this too. Some people say that y'all playing for the East title next week. Look, man, y'all playing for the SWAC. Look, man, ain't nobody. Look, all due respect to like the West, but come on, bro. I watched that Prairie View and that Alcorn game today, and I was like, oh my God.
They were struggling with an 0-5.
Oh my God. Man. I'm looking at Alcorn on that last possession, and I'm like, what are we doing here? What are we doing, man? Like, what are we doing? You're in field goal range, and you run the ball, get some yards, run the ball, run the clock, kick a closer field goal. You drop back and pass and get a sack and have to kick a 49-yarder. That, by the way, that 49-yarder, it was long enough, but still. With our kickers,
if anything, if they were gonna, there was no need. Do a run play. You know what? Just kick right now. Kick right now. Kick right now. Don't do nothing else. Just kick right now and end it. Okay?
Exactly.
If I had the ability to win the game and I pissed it off because I was calling passing plays,
right?
You will pack up your stuff and be off of the campus.
And look at
tonight.
it. And also too, if anybody, I don't know how many people saw, they had a miracle play 2 plays before that.
Yes, he caught it.
When the bad snap, Tolbert drops the ball, rolls out and throws a dime
for the first down.
Like, as soon
run the ball. Just run the ball.
Pass, when he throws that pass, I'm like, well, dang, maybe it's meant for Alcorn the day after that.
I said, they might win. They pissed it all away.
And you do that, you get a sack and lose much needed yardage.
You got to get out tonight. The first play was a pass play. What are you passing for? You know what? The first time you should have been running. Run the first one, run the second one. Why are you dropping back that far?
Right.
Run the ball, place it in the middle of the field so that they can't say, well, we had bad placement, and kick the ball.
Exactly. And I knew
that is something right there that's kind of similar to Valley's bad play call when they decided to go on 4th and 12. Bad for Texas Southern when they dropped that coverage for Prairie View. These are the types of mistakes that you make in the last 2 minutes of the game that can basically call the game. And it's like, oh my God, those are things that you'll lose sleep at night thinking about those plays.
You will.
And like, why did we call that? Why we did this? Why we did that?
You will, and you'll be thinking about stuff long into your offseason.
Hot coaching seats. This week. The last 2 weeks.
Those boys are 0-5. And the silly thing is, Tamona, they really should be at least 3-2. Execution has killed them. Fumbles. Just stupid things that could go wrong happens in key moments. Last week, Jacorian Sewell runs for 225 yards. And you can't beat Pine Bluff.
Who's getting skull drugged by Texas Southern? Are just beaten. I didn't even know that Texas Southern had that type of offense. And Coach Dishman gonna run the skull up on them because
I hope Chris Dishman is gonna be in a talking mood this Monday. Now after that, remember the last couple weeks he's been short with us.
Yeah,
he might be ready to say anything this Monday.
I might be able to get past that joke about the joke about being his dual threat quarterback. I might be able to get that one off this Monday. He ain't been in the joke.
Pull that up what KD said. Until you do right by Fred McNair.
Oh, it's a couple of schools that until they do right, everything they do gonna suffer. It's a couple of schools.
That's funny.
Right by.
That's the one right there. That comment right there, KD. I'm with you on that.
But I will say this based off of how Prairie View's been playing, and this is no shade to PV, but the West is still wide open just because of how close their games are. There's not separation. There's not like a big separation.
Because look here, okay, Southern off their bye, they go to Daytona next week, right?
Mm-hmm.
Prairie View's on its bye next week. Southern wins. Prairie View's going to Southern after the bye week.
And they better win. That one is, you remember how you were talking about how some coaches are desperate? That is a Coach Graves, you have to win this game.
You think about it. You beat Bethune next week in Daytona. You get Prairie View on your field. And if you can beat Prairie View, you pin a loss on them, get the tiebreaker, and you could try, if you win out, you'll win the West again. After all the hell you had leading up. So, yeah, PV and PV schedule, too, is crazy. After their bye week, they go Southern, at Southern. Then they have, they got Lincoln for homecoming, But then they go Alabama State at home and at Alabama A&M back-to-back.
So I wanted to say was it Lincoln that was rescheduling games because of injuries?
Yeah, they were supposed to play somebody this week and they canceled the game because they said that they didn't have enough players to play the game due to like injuries or something like that. So they're supposed to play Alcorn for Alcorn's homecoming next week.
They said they tired of y'all beating up on their players. But hell, the way Alcorn was playing, they might win.
So they go to Alcorn for Alcorn's homecoming next week. The next week they go to Valley for Valley's homecoming, and then the very next week after that they go to Prairie View for Prairie View's homecoming. They're a homecoming opponent 3 weeks in a row.
They said they've canceled 2 games in a row, so folks better check and make sure that they're available.
Hey, look, I was like, if Lincoln ain't playing, I'm like, G, there was a guaranteed win.
So how does that work? We got all these canceled games. Good Lord. All these canceled games.
Man, look here. I already said what I had to say about the janky promoters down there in Atlanta, man. Look, I don't know who was at fault for all that kind of stuff, but I just say the janky promoters strike again.
That was bad for Bethune-Cookman too. They was involved in that too. Bethune-Cookman versus Southern too.
Yeah. I just hated that. I hated that it altered the plans for so many people.
Right.
Well,
it wasn't too many people. According to them, there was a less than 500 tickets sold.
Well, what I mean by is players.
Oh, yeah, definitely. That they have to stay for
staff.
Thanksgiving. Like, why would I want to stay for Thanksgiving? Yeah, family members and stuff like Thanksgiving.
Yeah, you got to go to Itabena on Saturday of Thanksgiving weekend, and if neither one of you are in the race, it's like, well, how motivated does anybody really want to get on the field and play that game?
Valley better play that game and beat VMU ass again. Whoop up on them again. Do it again.
Yeah.
On them again.
Yeah. Yeah, so he said rumor is they about to cancel on Alcorn.
Oh Lord. Alcorn is 0-5.
Somebody said that Kentucky State was on a bye week next week. They were saying Alcorn should call Kentucky State.
No, Kentucky State will whoop Alcorn's ass. Alcorn will lose to Kentucky State. Dude, the way they was tussling with Grambling, do not schedule Kentucky State.
That's hilarious, man. Somebody said, "Does a
Does a
forfeit?"
forfeit count for a win?
No, Mm-mm. No,
Oh,
Mm-mm. No. What it is they it won't be a game. They won't play, and then okay. Oh, he said can't. Okay, has a bye week. PV plays Lincoln. Okay, I knew it was one of those. Yeah, somebody said call Kentucky State.
Kentucky State gonna drag them kids all up and down the field. They're gonna be embarrassed.
But yeah, it's bad business down there in Alcorn. The way they lost that game today, it's like it was another. It's just
I
like
mean, G still ain't washed his ass. It's been 2 weeks.
it's a recurring theme. Okay, so they said Prairie View would play Kentucky State if the Lincoln, California game is canceled. Okay, cool. That's good for them. But man, what about Alcorn and Valley too? Because like I said, 3 straight weeks Lincoln is somebody's opponent for a homecoming in the SWAC.
I think the last time Alcorn has been 0-5 may have been in the late 90s or early 2000s.
Yeah, I think it was. Yeah, when they had some rough times. I know when I was in college in the late 90s, man, Alcorn had some rough times.
Yeah, I'm sure that they was probably laying out on the field, rolling around in the getting chiggers, rolling out in the grass, freshly cut grass over there, just outdone. How did we lose? We were so close. And they probably thought that they won that game because it's like all you have to do is kick a field goal to win.
Yeah, I thought they were gonna win. Honestly, I was like, wow. I said they can pull this off. And then again, I'll quote what my boy Devin Hope said. He said, "It's almost like what could go wrong will go wrong." He said that. That's crazy. I remember this though, down there on that hill. Boy was asleep. He said, "Man, I'm gonna fall asleep before I watch the rest of this." That's funny.
What time do you come on tomorrow?
So I'll be on at 7 p.m. Eastern tomorrow night. And my ride tokens. I'll have my pick of Jackson State players to give a ride token to. Now, Jacobian, he got a ride token from me last week for his performance.
Right.
Very rightfully so. So I'll definitely look through and see, some of my ride token candidates, and I'll look to see if we have any standout defensive players this week that can qualify for a ride token. One other thing that I'll say before I depart tonight. I don't know if anybody saw Morgan State, how they lost their game today against Georgetown.
Hail Mary.
On a Hail Mary.
I would have just did a passing interference.
Man, and the way
if you only got like 4 seconds left, don't you just do a passing interference?
Yeah, and the ball would have been at the 2-yard line. Or I think it would have been there
would have been no time left.
It would have been 15 yards. Yeah. But yeah, that play, when I watched it back, I was like, that didn't even look like a Hail Mary.
If it comes down to a Hail Mary, you better push that damn receiver out the way. If 15 yards will put them at the 30-yard line, push them out the way.
Dude just stood right behind them and was like, "Thank you. I'll take this right now for the walk-off."
Damn. I said Morgan State, that's another, I don't know.
And you know what? I picked Georgetown to win that game. It's funny, out of all my picks from Wednesday, I missed 2 of them. Obviously, the one for which I'm here for. And then the other one I missed is that doggone Pine Bluff, man. They got me. I thought Pine Bluff was a different team. And then Texas Southern said, no. So I've only missed 2 picks today, which I feel good about. But It's gonna be
I just
interesting.
be playing. I be playing on Twitter. I went undefeated on my run your pool picks. Hey, Mr. Ford, how you doing?
Hey,
I went
how's it going?
I got all of mine. Good. How you doing?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good.
He said they got you too. Talking about UAPB got you too. Yeah. They got everybody. They
I picked
fooled us
Monmouth,
all.
Alabama State, William and Mary. Ooh, North Carolina A&T put up
North
35
Carolina
points.
A&T was up 34-21, and then them boys came roaring back.
Okay, North Carolina A&T putting up 35 points. Can we give
Yeah.
them a moral victory, Mr. Ford?
Huh?
Can we give a moral victory for A&T putting 35 points up against William and Mary?
Yeah.
On the road.
William and Mary's a quality program. That's Mike London's program.
Yeah, they came back. They had the lead going in that fourth quarter, and then them boys came back. And then the Battle of the Bay, Hampton said, "Nah, Vic, you ain't about to get a win in this series, in this first trip into this series."
Man,
them boys are 1-5.
Vic been getting drugged all up and down the field.
And they only win was against Virginia State, and they had to go to overtime to get that. So
Delaware State is humming.
Hey, Delaware State played a tremendous game today.
I can't wait for them to get to conference.
Listen, Monmouth is ranked 12th in America in the FCS. And them boys went toe-to-toe up and down the field with them boys. 49-38, but them boys were battling the number 12 team in America. So, yeah, Delaware State, you keep your eyes on them boys. I'm a believer.
We might see them in the SWAC. We might see them in the Celebration Bowl representing the MEAC.
He made me a believer weeks ago. Like, I don't know.
North Carolina Central let East Texas score like 30 plus points on them this past week.
Yeah, they let it leak in the fourth quarter because Trey said they put some guys, they put backups in the game. He said they had to put the starters back in. But yeah, that MEAC, it's gonna be on point because Delaware State played North Carolina Central in the very first game of the SWAC. MEAC.
That's gonna be for the MEAC.
Yeah, it's gonna be pretty dope. But yeah, but you know, North Carolina Central, they had a bye week this week. Next week they're going to FAMU. Yeah, they're going to FAMU. It's gonna be on ESPN. I'm gonna be on HBCU Go. Yeah, going to FAMU. Maybe FAMU needed that bye week.
Yeah. How you doing, Mr. Ford?
Good. I'm getting back from the I went to Fort Valley's homecoming today.
Did you see the fight?
You saw the brawl at the end?
No, I was at the tailgate. I didn't even know about it.
Yeah, it's all over Twitter.
They got to tussling, Mr. Ford.
I'll have to watch it.
Central State beat them 18-14. They said, "Man,
yeah, they blocked a field goal or something." Yeah, they blocked something.
Yeah,
Lord, it would be a UAPB alum that would say that it was a massive brawl. I get it. I guess for impressions, it wasn't.
It was a brawl though. Them boys.
It was not massive.
No, it wasn't massive, but it was a brawl. It was a brawl because they was on that sideline, boy. I see some folks was getting slammed, and there's some punches and some pushing, and they was going at it.
No push. I saw it. It wasn't nothing more egregious than what happened at Jackson.
But the line of delineation is it classified as a brawl because it was multiple dudes. Yeah, here's the video.
Other folks just walking off.
Yep, they just walking off, and they're like, "Oh well." They like, I gotta make a business decision. I don't need to get suspended.
You see him put his hand on his hips.
classifies as a brawl, though. Yeah, it's this part here. They came back at it. Look at my man. He's holding him by the shoulder pads. He said that's not a brawl. By the law, by the definition of a brawl is multiple parties engaging in physical.
Well, Mr. Moore, how was it? Was it nice? Was it a good turnout?
Yeah, they had more people at the tailgate than they did it. Now, I think they said they had 8,000 in the stadium, but what you do at Fort Valley, when you buy a ticket, you go out to the tailgate, you have to buy a ticket. So when we came out to the game, outside of the game, we went out over to the tailgate. Far more people at the tailgate than it was in the stadium. I think I read but it had 8,000 in the stadium. Yeah.
That sounds about right.
Well, one of the things I think Fort Valley needs to consider too is they need to stop letting Calvin Smyrie pimp them on behalf of that. It's a bank in Columbus called. They're the people who sponsor that Fountain City Classic, and they need to bring that game back to the campuses because they could make $1 million in ticket sales. And so instead of allowing, I want to know, Synovus, I think you can look it up. I think that bank called Synovus sponsors the Fountain City Classic. The chairman is Calvin Smyrie. And they need to stop allowing themselves to be pimped by him on behalf of that bank. And they need to bring that game from Columbus back to Fort Valley's campus and back to Albany State's campus. Yeah.
Interesting.
I don't know enough about the D2.
Yeah, Synovus. Yep, Synovus. That's it. But yeah, hey, like I said, I own all of it. Folk, look, they had me on roughing the SWAC, and then some of them said, "Man, we can't beat you up too bad because we know you love you. We know how you roll. You don't even be beefing." I was like, "Sure, don't." One, I ain't got time for it. And two, it's just like I said, it's love for everybody, except when you play us. But 7 p.m. tomorrow, I'll be on. We'll talk, go through the games. And then Wednesday, as usual, I'll be talking about the games coming up. And got to figure out how much I'm thinking about you guys are gonna beat Alabama State by. But I gotta do the study, I gotta do the look through the trends, I gotta look at the matchups and all that kind of stuff. But like I said, in all total, like I said, from what I saw from y'all from last week to this week, just execution wise, you do this kind of stuff, you play like this, you execute like this, it's gonna be tough next week for them boys coming to y'all house, especially when there's a few dudes that do remember what it was like a few years ago when they came to the house and won their own homecoming. Folk don't forget. They don't forget. So I'm glad to be on with you tonight. Like
I want to thank you for coming on and facing the light. Thank you. We
always.
And we will see you tomorrow. What time?
7 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Central.
Okay, we'll see you then.
All right, see y'all.
Not too shabby. So, Mr.
Can you hear me?
The games, huh?
Huh?
Yeah, I can hear you. Was you able to watch any of the other games?
Yeah, I was able to watch the first half of Alabama State and Bethune-Cookman. While I was at the game, and I opened up my phone and watched some of that. Yeah, that's why I didn't call in, because I was just listening to y'all give this summary of the Jackson State game, because I didn't get a chance to see I'm gonna have to go back and look at the Jackson State game. I know that they did announce, it was like when they announced y'all score in the first half, it was like the game was over. Weren't y'all leading like 40-10 or something?
No, you talking about at the half?
Yeah, what were y'all leading at the half?
30-10.
Okay.
And then
Yeah.
we got the ball, and then Travis Terrell ran for 72 yards. And we did get a touchdown.
Okay.
So.
Hey, Miss Whitley. Is Brandy on here?
Yeah.
Hey, Brandy. Is Dr. Kanisha on here?
Yes.
Hey, Dr. Kanisha. Okay, Is it Miss Mary? Is it Miss Mary?
Miss Mary is here tonight, Mr. Ford.
Hey, Miss Mary. How you doing?
Hey, everybody else.
Hey, everybody else. Hey, I'm getting in. I went to the Fort Valley homecoming game today. So, yeah.
Well, so we can just go over the games then, because I think you'll be pretty impressed with some of the scores.
I was definitely. I heard y'all talking about Delaware State. I saw that score and I was like, because Mammoth usually beats up people. I know they beat up Hampton a lot.
That was a close game.
Yeah.
I said, well, look, this is his first year. I said, you know what? I'm actually thinking that he's gonna take it in the MEAC.
It's up for grabs. No. There was 2 high school bands at the homecoming for Fort Valley today. It was Jonesboro High School out of Clayton County, outside of Atlanta, and it was Monroe High School out of Albany, Georgia.
Oh, that was nice. That was nice.
Yeah.
They were able to do that.
That band from,
are they going to do that for the rest of the season? Bring in
I
high school?
know. I don't know, but I know that Jonesboro band looked good. That Jonesboro High School band, they look good. Yeah, they look good.
Lord have mercy.
And by the way, I saw a picture today of what Grant Field looked like at the Chris Brown's concert last night. The stadium seats were packed, and the field was packed with people. Yeah, it was. So it's got to be at least 60,000 or 70,000 people was at that Chris Brown concert last night. Yeah.
So, just to give you a recap, of course, of the Jackson State versus Alabama A&M game. Quincy Ivory had 10 tackles. Tamon Wells had 7. Jace Ward had 6. And then on the let's look at the offense. Jacoby and Morgan had 314 passing yards today. Cornelius Brown did have 341.
Right.
Jamil Gardner had 8 receptions for 84 yards. That's number 7.
He's wide receiver number 1 right now.
You think he's
wide receiver number 1. Yeah. That number 7. That's it. Where's he from? Detroit or Chicago?
I'll have to look. I want to say
I know he's a transfer, right?
Yeah, I want to say he's from Chicago, but don't quote me on that one. He's the Kent State transfer. No, he's from Detroit.
He had a good game in the Celebration Bowl last year.
Shamar Savage, we've been waiting on that he's a Prairie View transfer.
Yeah, I know him.
He had 3 receptions for 91 yards and he had 2 touchdowns.
Okay.
Janalian Dupree had 3 receptions for 63 yards and he also had 2 touchdowns today. And then he had so let's look at rushing yards. Jacoby and Morgan led today with 120. Travis Terrell had 103, and then Denario Davenport had 72. Denario had 1 touchdown, and then I want to say Jacoby and Morgan had 1 rushing touchdown as well. So, very, very balanced offense, Mr. Ford. I'm impressed.
Right,
excited.
right. Mm-hmm.
But yeah, very impressed. So, what do you think about next week's game?
Oh, I think it's the biggest game in black college football. I think it's I think it's going to be the biggest game for the year. That'll be the game of the year.
You think it'll be the game of the year?
Yeah, I think it'll be the game of the year.
Wow.
I think that game will determine the SWAC champion, and also will determine who goes to the Celebration Bowl. Yeah, it's a lot riding on that game next week. And then on top of that, that's Jackson State's homecoming. It's at the Vet. Then Jackson, Mississippi. It's going to be on television. I mean, what more could you want?
I'm so glad. Okay,
Yeah.
so let's go over the Alabama State versus Bethune-Cookman game, because they had a score of 35 for Bethune-Cookman scored 35 points, and then Alabama State was able to put up 52 points. As a team, rushing wise, Alabama State had 388 total rushing yards versus Bethune-Cookman having 207 rushing yards. But Bethune-Cookman was able to put up 362 passing yards. Alabama State had 171 passing yards today and 2 passing touchdowns. Dang. So it was 4 rushing touchdowns, 2 passing touchdowns. Wow. What do you think about Alabama State, like, coming into next week? I mean, they've never seen a.
It's like we've been saying it for the last 6 months. This year's Jackson State and everybody else. I'm looking forward to the game. I hope it's a great game. But I mean, Jackson State should be favored. Personnel wise, I don't think that Bama State can match up with Jackson. I'm really looking forward to seeing Jacobian and the body kid go at it. I do want it to be a good game,
Body got to meet that Jackson State defense.
Yeah, but I mean, like we said, it's this year, 2025. It's Jackson State and everybody else.
General parking for the homecoming is sold out. You cannot get parking. Go ahead and schedule your Ubers or ride with somebody. You ain't getting there. Go ahead and schedule. You got to get an Uber. Don't park your car in some alley, authorized alley that's not being that doesn't have security there. And don't be over there just paying somebody $30 to park, and because they're gonna leave your car there after they finish collecting their money. So park in authorized places, okay? Tailgate parking is still available. It's the game of the year, Mr. Ford.
Yeah, I think it's the game of the year. Yeah.
On to FAMU, or not FAMU. I'm sorry. On to Prairie View. Mercy, Mr. Ford. They done fizzled out.
Yeah, they're one-dimensional. They're one-dimensional.
First of all, let's talk about how.
But I still think they win the West.
No, there's no way you're going to win the West.
Yeah, they win the West. I still think
today they went to Lorman, Mississippi. Mr. Ford, did you see they won 13-12?
Yeah, I saw that they won 13. I didn't hardly see. I saw the last part when they missed the field goal at the end, but I got to go back and watch the game.
Oh, Mr. Ford, it was like the battle of who could make the most mistakes. The battle. I mean, they did have a defense, but was it really a defense or was it just offensive mistakes? Like, just it was terrible, Mr. Ford. Terrible.
Well, let me just ask you this. Let me ask you
So many
this.
ways to win, though. But
Let me
damn,
give you these numbers. It's 3, 4, 5, 6. Out of those numbers, how many coaches in the SWAC will be fired at the end of the season? 3, 4, 5, 6. Give me a number.
ooh, 3, 4, 5, or 6. Let me
Yeah.
see.
In your estimation, how many coaches will be fired how many head coaches will be fired at the end of the season?
I got 3 in a possible. I got 3 in a
Wait a minute,
possible.
I think I got 4. Wait a minute,
I got 3 in a
I got
possible.
2 in Florida.
You got how many?
I got 2 in Florida.
Uh-huh.
I got 1 in Louisiana and possibly 1 in Mississippi. So I got 4.
Mm.
Somebody right here said they got 6. Wait a minute. Is that Lori? Is that Sister Lori? You say you got what's your 6?
6.
Wait a minute.
Damn.
Yeah,
She taking out half the damn conference. She took out half the conference coaches.
Okay, so half of the coaches. Okay, Ms. Lori, who are the 6?
Now you being messy, Mr. Ford.
No,
You started out just
okay,
asking
wait a
how
minute.
many. Now you're really being messy talking about some
Ms. Lori says 6 people could be fired. Who are the 6?
half the SWAC. Miss Lori is clearing it out. Damn, we
Okay,
doing
Whitley, you
another
said.
reset.
Oh, okay.
We doing another reset. Did you see what happened the last time we did one of those resets?
No, What
You
happened?
ended up having to hire some more coaches.
Well, I mean, I'm thinking 4.
Ooh, Dr. Kenesha said 5.
5. Okay, Dr.
Y'all
Kenesha,
name what
who's your
state?
5?
Just name what state they in. How many? With
Yeah,
the state they in and how many? Don't be over here naming coaches like that. Y'all name the state they in. For me, I say 1 in Florida.
Okay, 1, 2, 3.
1 in Mississippi.
Okay, so Leisure today got 4.
1 in Louisiana.
3.
No, 2 in Louisiana. That's what I'm saying. They talk about the payouts will be bonkers.
Yeah, let's see.
Listen, I don't think they'll be. I think some people will get more time. We are only on like the second. For most teams, it's only the second SWAC game. There's still a lot of time left.
Well, okay. Well, you know what? I'm looking forward to seeing how this plays out. I still think the Prairie View wins the West. Prairie View wins the West. Yeah, Prairie View wins the West. They win the West because they're organized. I think they have the discipline. Like I said, to me, they're one-dimensional, especially when they play that kid from Memphis.
I'm trying to be disrespectful. I'm really not. I'm looking at the game and I'm just like, there is no way that you keep winning by the skin of your teeth. It's not possible. Let me just read this out. Let me read out what they had as a team. They had 185 passing yards, and 163 rushing yards. So they did have a total offense of 348 yards.
Mm-hmm.
Alcorn had 270 yards of total offense.
Mm-hmm.
They stopped the run, I'm guessing, because they only had 94 in rushing. But for me, I think it's the lack of offense for me.
Well, like I said, to me now, Prairie View is one dimensional. Who started at quarterback for Prairie View? Was it the Harris kid?
Cam'Ron Peters had 117 years, or excuse me, yards.
That was passing or running?
Passing, and he had 66 yards rushing.
Okay, so they went back to camp. Okay, they went back to him. Because they were
Yeah,
playing that kid from Memphis.
but
The kid from Memphis.
neither one of those quarterbacks for PV scored a touchdown today. There was no passing touchdowns today.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They one-dimensional. I saw that last week at that game in Dallas. They're one-dimensional.
They ain't have no rushing touchdowns either. They literally hung their head on special teams today. Special teams is very important.
Yes, it is.
So special teams won their game today.
Okay. It says Tevin Carter is a quarterback from Memphis. Okay, Carter. Yeah, Carter's quarterback from Memphis. Okay. That's him. 21 said 21 started. That's a kid from Memphis.
They couldn't get the team cleats. Y'all think they're gonna buy out Thompson? Ooh. Who couldn't get the team cleats? So they're saying Southern might beat PV because
I doubt it.
He can't lose at home.
I don't believe that.
He can't lose at home. He cannot lose a game at home. He cannot drop a game for homecoming. Like, that would be the last straw. You already lost to Alabama State. You already lost to Jackson State. You cannot lose homecoming to PV.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I think that decision has already been made down on Southern's campus. I think that decision has already been made.
I mean, he did take them to the SWAC championship last year.
Yeah, but that decision has already been made down there. I think it's going to be regime change at Southern.
They don't have no money to get no new coach. If you don't have money to pay for, who was it? They didn't have any money to pay for a new coach. How are you going to get the buyout together?
I don't know. Maybe he can clean up something or do something in the cafeteria. So, but he got to go.
Wait a minute. Who can do something in the cafeteria?
Terrence, he can do something.
What you mean he can do something?
They can work on the yard or something because they gonna make a change.
What?
They gonna make a change. I think the decision has already been made in Baton Rouge. I think that decision has already been made.
Listen, if PV wins the West, let's just say hypothetically that they do win the West, God rest their soul, because they are going to be obliterated. Okay, gonna pack them up.
Well, I mean, yeah, that could happen. I didn't. I've said it over and over again. It's Jackson State and everybody else. But I do believe that Prairie View has enough to win the West. Yeah, I believe that. But continuing with Jackson, no.
Oh God. Ask Southern the last time PV lost a Southern homecoming. Lord, I didn't know it was like that. Mr. Ford, you putting a little bit too much dip on your chip, saying that Southern is gonna lose their homecoming.
No, baby, they in total disarray. That's a total meltdown down there. No.
Did you talk to somebody and they told you this? Did you have some insider information?
No, I just watched them play. I told you I saw them in person here in Atlanta. I told you all summer. I said the same thing. I said they need a new offense coordinator. Once I saw them at Georgia State in that SWAC mid challenge, I knew then they needed a change. They need a regime change. They need a new staff.
They say when PV struggled against Alcorn, Southern is going to mop the field with them.
We'll see.
Drag them Panthers all up and down the field.
We'll see. We'll see.
FAMU is gonna whoop up on PV.
FAMU doesn't play PV, do they?
I don't know.
No.
Well, you know, their team might get canceled, right? Lincoln, they've had a lot of injuries, so they've been canceling games.
Listen, Merlin, y'all better enjoy Trey Holly because I done told you. Them people coming with that money in December. Y'all better enjoy him.
Those lights in Mumford will be lighting up. I am surprised that Texas Southern put that much up on UAPB.
What was the score? What was the score?
It was bad.
What was the score?
51-7.
Okay.
I think, you know, the SWAC West is wide open. I want to say...
No, the SWAC West is going to be won by Prairie View. Prairie View might not be beaten in the SWAC West.
Next week.
Huh?
I want to say if we beat Alabama State next week and Alabama A&M beats them in the Classic, then we'll already clinch the East.
Yeah, and I think Prairie View going to clinch the West.
I think Southern's going to walk away with it again.
Walk away with what? Walk away with what? You talking about the SWAC West?
Yep.
Okay, you drinking.
I'm drinking drink more lemons. I'm drinking lemon juice.
Oh, okay. I thought you were drinking something strong.
You thought I was drinking something strong? Just some lemon.
You think Southern's gonna win the West?
Mr. Ford, why PV scored 13 points and struggled? They didn't even score a touchdown. I think they scored. Maybe they scored. I don't know how they did it. I don't even know how they got to 13. I didn't see no touchdowns on the screen. I don't even know how they got there.
Oh, dude, they will win. They're organized. They're disciplined. They will win off of that alone. They will win off of that alone.
Win just to get their ass whooped. They so excited about it.
Yeah, I told you. I mean, I knew that they would win the SWAC West. We said that this summer.
You did say it.
Now, I know that, yeah, Jackson's going to, if they come to Jackson for the SWAC championship, they get steamrolled. Everybody knows that.
Listen,
but I'm saying they'll win the SWAC West.
Southern's going to be competitive, Mr. Ford.
Listen, I told you that decision has already been made.
What about this? Doesn't FAMU play Southern?
Yeah, they go to Southern. They go to Baton Rouge.
Okay, so let's look at the FAMU versus Southern. Hypothetically speaking, Southern wins that game.
And?
That sets them up real nice for the PV win, too.
No. When Southern plays FAMU, it'll be the battle of the two fired coaches. That's what it's going to be. Because that decision, I know that decision has already been made in Tallahassee. that decision has been made in Baton Rouge. They bringing in new coaches, a new staff, a new head coach, a new leader for their programs, their football programs.
And we're just gonna see. Here's the problem with this. You over here talking about the decision's already been made.
It's already
But
been made.
they take too long to hire a new coach.
Well,
Then they mess up the new
listen,
coaches.
I think
They
FAM
mess
is
up.
already preparing for FAM. It's going to be, I can't see anybody, but that Quinn Gray, it's his time. It's his time. So it shouldn't be no long time for FAMU to make that decision. It's Quinn Gray's time.
But what I'm saying,
now
like, they waited
Southern's
too long.
problem is going to be that Roman Banks is in the way. I've said it over and over. He's incompetent. He doesn't know how to pick a winning or a championship football coach. So he's going to be a problem. He's going to be a problem. Roman Banks will be a problem down in Baton Rouge. No doubt about it.
Well, I don't really know about whether or not he'll be a problem, but
Oh,
what
he
I
will.
do know,
No doubt about it. Because they're going to allow, if they allow him to pick the next person to replace Terrence, then they will continue to languish in as a losing program. Because he's incompetent when it comes to picking a championship coach. He doesn't know what a championship coach looks like. I've told you that.
so the thing with that is you have to put your coach in a position to win. And that's my thing. Y'all are over here doing proverbial firing coaches every 2 years. You don't hire the coach in enough time to get a good recruiting season so that they can fill those needs. Now they have a situation where the portal only opens up, I want to say, once, and it doesn't open after the spring. Like, this is the thing. If you're going to do that, remove a coach, you need to have a coach hired by December.
I just told Mr. Mona, I told you it's not going to be a problem at FAMU. They know that it's Quinn Gray's time.
And I'm
Okay,
not
so
really
listen, Quinn will be on FAMU's campus in December. Okay,
I'm not really
that's a
trusting.
no-brainer. Okay,
I'm not
the only problem that Southern is going to have is that the chief negotiator, the person who will make the decision, is incompetent when it comes to picking a championship coach.
Quinn
I
Gray
don't know
is
why
not
you
a
can't.
championship
Listen, I've
coach.
said it over and over to you. Look at the people Roman Banks gave that job to.
Did Quinn Gray win a championship, Mr. Ford?
I mean, he could win one this year, but listen,
But
Quinn
has
Gray
he?
was next in
Does
line.
his resume say championship coach?
It don't matter. It don't
What I'm
matter.
trying to tell you is
It
this:
don't matter.
as long as TC
He's
is
next
at
in line.
Jackson State, as long as TC is at Jackson State, they gonna get their ass whooped. So
Well,
you're gonna
yeah,
have
that
to
can
treat.
happen too, but I'm just telling you that it won't take a long time because those people in Tallahassee know it is that experiment with Cozy is over. They know that it's over. Okay. And it's Quinn Gray's opportunity. It's his time. So he will be on campus by December, no later than January.
So
Like
here's
I
my
said earlier, the problem at Southern is that the chief administrator, the chief negotiator, is incompetent and he doesn't know. He doesn't know who to pick. I've told you over and over, look at the people he's given money to. When Dawson Odoms left, he gave it to the guy who's the defensive coordinator at Graham. That guy was there 1 year. Okay. Then he comes in with Dooley. How long was Dooley there? 2 years. Okay. Then he picks Terrence Graves. Okay. This is Terrence's second year. It's obvious he can't pick a championship coach.
Well, I'll say this on the accord of FAMU and their coaching search, and
It's not going to be a surge.
They had 20 people on a committee, right? Mind you, this is the AD's job to pick a coach. They had 20 people on a committee. They hired a firm, paid a firm like almost $100,000 or something like that, all to just pick a coach that was on the FAMU coaching staff. And the boosters is the ones that's controlling it and saying who you should hire and who should listen. There's certain things that you're not going to win just because you're a coach. You have to have the NIL. You have to have the strength and conditioning. You have to have the muscle milk. You have to have the coaching staff. Like, some of these folks be wanting these coaches to turn water into wine. And I can't see any SWAC coach, because that's what they're going to be looking for. Hey, can you beat TC and Jackson State? That's what the questions is going to be. How are you going to beat them? What are you going to beat? What are you going to do to beat Jackson State? That's the question that's going to get asked.
That should be the number one question. I've said that over to you before.
So you want them to lie?
If you cannot if you cannot match up with TC Taylor, don't come to the SWAC.
So you want the coaches to lie? Because how are they going to do that? How are you going to beat TC Taylor? I would just say, realistically speaking, ain't nobody beating TC. So if you want me to come coach, I'll come coach. I'll beat everybody else, but I'm not going to beat TC while he's at the helm of this program. Like, he's running the table every year, and we've seen coaches leave and him rework. Last year, he had to hire a whole bunch of, well, not a whole bunch. He kind of like promotes within, but basically what I'm saying is when one coach leave, it's next man up. When one coach leave, it's next man up. And the way he's building his program, I don't see anybody beating Jackson State for at least the next 2 or 3 years. With the strength and conditioning, with the NIL, with the talent that he's bringing in, with the young men. So he has the Mississippi talent, and then he brings in the transfer portal, and then he has the young men who are staying on that team. Mr. Ford, there are a lot of kids that
that all of what you're saying, that's the reason they should keep Chance in Baton Rouge, and that's the reason they should keep Cozy in Tallahassee, right?
What I'm saying is that you're not going to be able to build a team in 2 years. You cannot build a team to beat Jackson State because of how they are built, because they have the young men who are freshmen who are actually sitting and waiting their turn. You got seniors now that really didn't play that much, that are like Eric Simmons. Eric Simmons didn't play that much.
Hey, Brother Arsenault, I remember when he came to Tallahassee. Yes, I know who Fred Goldsmith is. He was brought to Tallahassee by Rudy Hubbard. He came, I was in the 9th grade. He left after my freshman year in college. After they won the Division I AA championship, he left FAM, and I think he went to Arkansas or he went to Air Force. I'd have to look it up. Yeah, I definitely remember Fred Goldsmith.
Yeah, you can't beat that, because and folks might not want to realize it, but being that TC was on and Coach O was on that coaching staff in 2019 or 2020, like 2019, he was on, I want to say he was on the staff. They've been there, so they know what the talent looks like. They know where to bring it in from. They have all those different coaching relationships they have literally coaches that graduated from Jackson State at some of these community colleges. Like, it's so deeply rooted, and it's probably like, even though you guys saw the Dion era, it's like 6 years in that this program has been built from the ground up. And the reason why you can see that there was a lot of talent on Jackson State's roster is because those players shined under Prime, and those were Jackson State recruits. Devontae Davis is a prime example of that, of a recruit that came under the auspices of the previous coach before Prime, and he shined. So I just don't see anybody beating Jackson State, and I'm not trying to be arrogant. Anybody can have an off day. Jackson State had an off week when we played Grambling last year, but the way that this team is built now, I just don't see anybody doing that. And so if you're questioning a coach and saying, hey, what can you do to beat Jackson State? You want them to lie?
Listen, I'm not debating you on any of that stuff you're saying about Jackson State. What I'm saying is the decision to bring in a new head coach in Tallahassee has already been made. The decision to bring in a new head coach at Southern University has already been made. That's all I'm saying. All of that you're saying about Jackson State, I concur, I agree, I understand. That's actually not my argument. What I'm telling you is that the decision to bring in new head coaches at Florida A&M and at Southern University has already been made. That's what I'm saying. I'm not saying about anybody beating Jackson. Jackson will win forever and all that. I agree with all of that. I'm just telling you that next year, Southern will have a new head coach. Florida A&M will have a new head coach.
Okay. So do you think Chennis Berry would return to Southern as head coach?
That would be stupid. Why would he go down there and work for Roman Banks? Why? Why? And he got an ideal situation at South Carolina State. The number one thing that the Chennis needs to be telling them people at South Carolina State is that we need to join the SWAC. That's what he needs to be telling them. Okay? We need to join the SWAC, South Carolina State University. That's what he needs to be talking about.
Okay. So what coach do you have for Teddy Keaton?
For who?
The celebrity coach?
I'm saying, are you saying for Florida A&M or for Southern?
No, Teddy Keaton for Southern.
Yeah, I would. I mean, I wouldn't just. I would look at several coaches, but I think his name should be put in the hat. Yeah, no doubt about it. Yeah, but I also think they should give the guy. Huh?
I need a list of names because Mr. Ford, I am flabbergasted at the fact that they would try to overhaul another program. You haven't even given it time to develop, and you guys want this instant winning out the gate, and it's not possible. And so then you're going to do it again. You're going to revamp again. Like, damn, you ain't even giving the coaches 3 years.
Baby, with the money on the line right now, with the money you can make in the SWAC championship, the money you can make from the Celebration Bowl, that's the way it is. Now, I don't know about you. Wait, let me say this. I don't know about you, but for me, after I watch you 2 years, I can determine what the apex is. It don't take me 5 years to determine whether or not this coach is a championship coach. Because you have to remember, I was a coach. So I'm telling you that the experiment at Florida A&M with Coach Cozy, it's a failure. The experiment with Graves at Southern, it's a failure. So it's time to make a change. Now, if you basing that on because it's 1 year or 2 years or 3 years, I'm sorry, but I can see that.
I
And I'm
just
telling you,
it's just gonna that like high turnover. It's the same thing even with jobs, like, you know, productivity. If you have high turnover, your productivity suffers. So this high
but when you got
turnover of
incompetent
coaches,
people, you suffer. When you got incompetent people, you suffer.
after the last 2 schools that came to the SWAC, Brandy said the doors are closed. We're good on new members. We're still trying to adjust to the new members we already have. Oh Lord. Oh God. Yeah. So Mr. Ford has made his very, 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 very harsh statement, but he basically said it's time for a change. A change is gonna come. That's what he said.
Yeah, yeah. Like I told you, those decisions have already been made.
I can't believe they making those types of decisions. Well, I hope that they get the coaches on campus and don't come up here talking about, well, you can't come up here till December 15th. I need the office to be clean and swept and ready, because these coaches have to recruit, and these kids are looking for places to go, and you don't want to get in a situation where you're getting these kids out the transfer portal that are leftovers, or, you know, they hopped up in the portal and you don't know why, and you're not able to do your due diligence in terms of figuring out, does the student go to class, how are their grades, what is their productivity, why are they leaving their school. Like, there's so much that goes into recruiting. You can't get a high level recruit, so then you're like, okay, we're going to throw away this season, we'll wait till next season. That's what happened to a couple of schools. It got so late that it was kind of like, okay, we're going to work with what we got. We're going to plug in the little areas that we can. You got, because the problem that is under Colsey and Southern, I think actually pretty much Alcorn, Bethune-Cookman, I think pretty much all of them, and that's what the trenches, right, Mr. Ford?
I'm sorry, what did you say?
The problem that they have is the trenches. Not being able to properly recruit for the trenches is one of the main problems in the
Now, you're saying for Southern or for FAM?
that's why all of them are suffering. Southern, FAMU, Alcorns defensively, like the trenches, not being able to recruit, not being able to do proper
Well, besides that,
conditioning.
neither one of those teams are motivated. Southern's team is not motivated. FAMU's team is not motivated. When I saw FAMU's team, defensively, size-wise, they do have big athletes and all of that, but I didn't see the X's and O's and the schematic part of it. I was not impressed with it. After last year, I thought the Southern would get bigger and more athletic, more girth, more athletic. I didn't see that.
What did you see on Southern's defensive line and offensive line?
In the game that I saw against Central?
Yeah, what did you see about
They were beat every play.
Were they big enough, or they just need height, or what is it? Strength and conditioning, or just beat?
No, I just thought they were just beat. I thought they would get better players. Now, I'm sold on the Gibbons kid. I think he's everything that they say he is. But in the game that I saw, when they came to Atlanta and played Central, every play, their defensive tackles were being blocked 5 and 7 yards downfield. They never played in Central's backfield. They were always on the other side of the line of scrimmage, beat and blocked. And same thing when I saw Jackson played him. Their defensive line was beat and blocked.
I mean, and that's the thing. If you're still trying to recruit a quarterback, you don't have a stable quarterback, you're bringing in a transfer portal quarterback every single year, that can cause problems. I will say that for me, I think I see a lot of progression with Bethune-Cookman.
You said progression?
Yes, they have an offense this year, Mr. Ford.
Well, I mean, they can make big plays, but I still don't see a winning mentality. Yeah, they can hit you with a bomb here.
I think Bethune-Cookman can beat FAMU this year.
Yeah, I do too.
And they beat Alabama A&M.
FAMU is not even mediocre. They're a losing program. I told you that. But what I'm saying about Bethune-Cookman is they can make big plays on offense, but I don't see a winning mentality. I don't see a team that knows how to close a game out so that they can win. I don't see that.
Well, let's just think of this logistically, right? Logistically speaking, do you think that Bethune-Cookman is going to beat Jackson State? No. So why would you fire your coach after you see the progression offensively and them just needing to fix their defense? Why would you fire a coach seeing the development?
Bethune-Cookman has to make a decision. Do you want just an offense that can score touchdowns, or do you want wait a minute, wait, let me say this. Or do you want a team that can compete for a championship? You got to remember, Jenkins won 4 BI championships.
In the MEAC.
So if you want to just, make big plays and score 35 and have 500 yards rushing and 500 yards total offense, if that's what you want, then keep Woody down there. But if you want to compete for championships, then it's time for a regime change. It's obvious. There are 12 coaches in the SWAC. Woody ain't even in the top 8. He's not even in the top 8.
Name your top from top to bottom.
I have to do it. I can't do it right now. But I'm just saying.
Jackson State 1, Alabama State 2.
He's not in the top 8. I'm gonna say that.
Alabama A&M 3. And that's it.
He's not in the top 8.
I definitely think that Bethune-Cookman has shown leaps and bounds offensively. Like you said, usually. So, Mr. Ford, how long does it usually take?
Well, here's the thing. Football, you got to play outstanding special teams, outstanding defense, outstanding offense. Mm-hmm. Right now, you just talk about their offense. What about their special team? What about their defense? Okay. Just having an outstanding offense at the most will get you 4 to 5 wins, 6 at the most. Because football, it's offense, defense, special teams.
Mm-hmm. And coaching, Mr. Ford, and coaching. Coaching. Yeah. That's another prong on there. Coaching.
Listen, like I said, I think the decision has already been made in Tallahassee, Florida, and the decision has already been made in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. Wow. There's going to be a new sheriff in town in those 2 new places. Like you said, hopefully in December, no later than January.
No, you can't do it in January.
Well, we have to see.
If you do it in January, you are if you name a coach in January, the coaches miss the ability to get their kids on campus a semester prior to summer camp so that they can already be working out with strength and conditioning. You missed that whole thing. Jackson State is going to already be 2 years ahead of you guys in terms of strength and conditioning, simply because you're getting your kids there late.
Yeah, I agree with that.
And then you're a year behind.
Oh,
and folks are like, oh, okay, this season it doesn't matter, we'll just wash this season. But then you're expected to win immediately in year 2. That's what happened. A lot of these coaches started late. They weren't able to recruit properly. They didn't have the food and nutrition for their program, nor the strength and conditioning. They were behind. And then they come into year 1, and then they go into year 2. They're immediately expected to win. It's like, damn, they're supposed to immediately win. And then they get fired after the end of season 2. You guys are firing coaches quicker than the PWIs. You're not even giving 2 full seasons. You get 1.5 to get it together, and you got to beat Jackson State. And we don't care how long that they had their staff together, or how good their coaching is, or how good their NIL is, or their strength and conditioning. You got to win and beat them this year, today. I mean, I'm flabbergasted about Southern. They just went to the SWAC West Championship. And they could possibly still go to the SWAC West Championship this year. Y'all ready to hang it up? Mr. Ford don't got nothing else to say.
well, I'm just saying the decision has already been made.
Well, thank you for letting us know.
Yeah.
You heard it here first on She Loves These SWAC Saturdays. It's
Yeah.
week 6. Mr. Ford let you guys know the decision has been made.
It's been made. There will be regime change of the football program at Florida A&M in Tallahassee, Florida. There will be a regime change at Southern University in Baton Rouge at Southern University, their football program. There will be a new head coach and possibly a new staff.
Shame. So much shame. All right, Mr. Ford. Well, are all hearts and minds clear? Oh, Jerome said he speaks against that. He wants them to stay forever. Oh, they said, what about Grambling, Mr. Ford? They said, what about Grambling? You over there talking about Southern. What they going to do over there at Grambling?
I'm going to be honest with you. I think he gets another year.
Why does he get another year but Southern don't?
That's a good question.
I'm talking about it went down to the wire with Kentucky State. If the refs hadn't stepped in, Grambling would have been upset at home by Kentucky State.
Yeah, you're right. I'm thinking about your question. Why does he get intense?
At least Terrence Graves went to the SWAC West Championship.
Yeah, he did.
And he won the Bayou Classic.
I think twice, right? Didn't he win it twice? Won it for Grambling as interim and won it for Southern.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what's going on at Grambling?
Whoa. I think he gets. You know what? I think he gets another year. I think he gets another year.
I don't think so.
Well, we're gonna see, but I just think that the two big boys, in the capital cities, there's going to be a change in Tallahassee, and There'll be a change in Baton Rouge.
Mm.
Whoa! Who is that? Who is it? Broad George? Who is that? Oh, okay.
Blue in here.
Hey, Blue. That's Blue. What? Blue.
Blue said he don't think that the coach wants another year, but that's another conversation.
Oh, okay.
He said he is fed up with the SWAC and he is fed up with you Negroes.
Oh yeah, I can believe that.
Mr.
Yeah.
Ford.
Hmm?
Oh, he said he is fed up with y'all.
Yeah,
He had it up to here with you Negroes.
I can believe that. And I do believe that there will be 2 new coaches and new sheriffs in town in Tallahassee and Baton Rouge.
You just gave them away, boy. You just giving
No, I
folks.
think the decision has already been made. I think that decision has already been made.
I think they need to reevaluate their decision.
We'll
my
see.
son went with his daddy, but I did get the book that you told me to get.
Okay,
about
now
that.
did you get Bessie Coleman?
Yeah, I did, but I don't know how. I don't know where it is. I did get it though. It's a
Okay, yeah.
I got this one. It says
Okay.
Little
What's the name?
Leaders, Bold Women in Black History,
Okay.
Stories
Okay.
for boys who dare to be different.
Yeah.
And then I did get that Bessie Coleman one so that he can read it. It's kind of like a biography, but it's like kids biography type
Oh
thing.
yeah. My grandfather
So-
told me about Bessie Coleman. I was about, I think, 10 years old. He told me about
Ooh.
Bessie Coleman, and then later on, I came across something, and then I read about her later on. But it was really good. It was great reading. It was.
Blue
Mm.
agrees with you. He said put a fork in it because they're cooked.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah. Like I said, I just Tallahassee. I think it's Quinn's time. The FAMU's a school that thrives on inbreeding. They believe in their own people. Quinn's a graduate, and I believe they give him. He's the next one up. I do believe that he's the next one up. Southern.
They believe in he's got to be from
Yeah, they believe in inbreeding. I mean, that goes all the way back, even though he was not a FAMU graduate. If you go back and read the biography, you talk to anybody who knew Coach Gaither. Coach Gaither believed in FAMU graduates. He wanted them to be the people to run FAMU. He believed in inbreeding. He believed in that.
Well, it looks like they've been trying to outsource as of late.
I mean, yeah, Billy Joe was a Villanova graduate. He was outstanding coach at FAMU. Rudy Hubbard was an Ohio State graduate. We talked about what he did, the 2 national championships he brought to Tallahassee. Okay, yeah, they've had some outsiders who've done well.
Charlie Ward from Florida State. Coach Coates from Florida State.
But Charlie Ward's daddy and mom were both FAMU graduates, and I believe maybe a sister or 2 were graduates also. It's kind of like Willie Simmons. I tell y'all all the time, Willie Simmons had 5 uncles and aunts that were graduates of Florida A&M.
Okay, so he's kind of like FAMU blood by.
There you go.
Relatives. Got it.
Yeah.
Got it.
Remember, Charlie Ward's daddy played quarterback for Coach Gaither, and he played with the world's fastest human, Bob Hayes. Yeah. Mm-hmm. When I came along as a child, he was a big-time high school coach in a town called Thomasville, Georgia. The school was called Magnolia High School. After integration, he was taken over to a school called Thomasville Central.
Well, I think that the offensive player of the year right now, in terms of like the running for it, I think that is definitely between Andrew Body and Jacobian Morgan. But if Jacobian keeps playing like how he played today, he gonna catch up real quick.
Yeah, Nick, that's another reason next week is so important.
He's
Because they
gonna
go
catch
head
up
to head.
real quick.
They go head to head in the vet. Hopefully in front of about 50, 55,000.
Yeah, because they haven't updated it yet. The oh, I guess they have. He has 929 passing yards, 6 touchdowns so far in terms of pass. So 929 yards. And
Right.
then I want to say, let me see what Andrew Body's is looking like. Andrew Body has 1,038 passing yards and 14 touchdowns. So because Jacobian was out for that one game, and then we had the bye week, he's a little bit behind. But if he keeps playing like how he is, 300 yards per game, it's going to be between them two and some of our running backs. Any last words, Mr. Ford?
Hey, only thing I got to say, I'm looking forward to next week at the vet. I think it's the game of the year for HBCU football. I really believe that game will determine the SWAC championship and also possibly the winner of the Celebration Bowl. That game is humongous. 3:00 game. It's homecoming in Jackson. Jackson is the ground zero for HBCU football. They're the #1 ranked HBCU football program. I mean, what more could you ask for? You got 2 outstanding quarterbacks. You got Jacobian Morgan. You got Andrew Body. You got TC versus Eddie Robinson. You got Alabama State coming to the vet to take on, or you got Jackson State hosting Alabama State for their homecoming. You got HBCU Go televising it at 3 p.m. Which would that be? Is that 3 p.m. Eastern? Do you know?
I think
Or
it's
is that 3 p.m.
Central.
Central?
3 p.m. Central. So it'll be
So
4
it'll be
o'clock.
4 p.m. Eastern.
Yeah.
I mean, what more could you ask for? This is. I think I see it as the game of the year. This is the game of the year, and it's on ES. Oh, the game is on ESPNU.
They upgraded it.
Okay, all right. So I mean, so 4 o'clock next Saturday
versus North Carolina Central on HBCU Go.
Who's on? Oh, FAMU. Okay.
Versus North Carolina Central.
Right. Well, listen. That game right there is not important for right now. The most important thing is Jackson, Mississippi is going to have Alabama State and Jackson State clashing in Veterans Memorial. That's what's important.
And I'm ready.
Yeah, I am too. Like they used to say, I can't wait.
Prayers to South Carolina State. They had some type of incident on campus and they had to cancel their homecoming concert because of gunshots. Oh, goodness. Yep, on ESPNU.
ESPNU? So will it be Jay Walker and Tiffany Green bringing that game?
I'm not sure. I think that they usually get all the big games. Usually they get the big games.
Well, that's a big game. I think it is the biggest game of the year.
Not sure why they put it on ESPNU.
Lawrence Moulton died? What?
Who? What happened?
You see what brother said? He said Lawrence Moulton died at the age of 53. I remember Lawrence Moulton. He was from D.C., right?
Let me see. Yeah, they said that he passed away on the 30th.
Whoa.
Yes. So prayers to.
Yeah, Lawrence Moulton played for Jimmy Boeheim. Yeah, I think Lawrence was from D.C. Yeah, he played for Jimmy Boeheim, Syracuse Orangeman. Yeah, I remember him.
So he played basketball.
Yeah, and that's his. And they saying that that's his daughter's a sideline reporter for HBCU Go.
And so then he went to the Wizards and Grizzlies.
Yeah, I remember Lawrence. Yeah, baby, that's when the Big East was the Big East, baby. Man. Yeah, I remember Lawrence.
Well, are we going to see you here on Tuesday? Or maybe, is it Tuesday? Am I supposed to Tuesday? Yeah, Tuesday.
Yeah, yeah.
I'll see you. I think I'll see you on Tuesday. Braxton has swimming.
Huh?
I said Braxton has swimming, so I'll see you here on Tuesday.
Okay.
We'll be here to talk about next week's biggest game of HBCU football, Alabama State versus Jackson State.
Oh, yeah.
I don't think it's going to be a close game. I think that the defense is going to show up and show out. But it is probably one of the more formidable, high-powered offenses that Jackson State will face this season. So I'm excited to talk about it.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. No doubt about it.
Oh, they did say Tiffany and Jay are going to be the commentators for the Jackson State versus Alabama State game.
Okay. Okay. Oh, yeah.
So I will see everybody on Tuesday.
All right.
Y'all be blessed. Be safe. Enjoy y'all weekend. If you're taking part of homecoming festivities, please be safe and be hyper aware of your surroundings. I love, and of course, happy homecoming to the Jackson State Tigers. Y'all have a good night.
All right.
I've had some weary days and some sleepless nights. But when I look around and I think things over, all of my good days outweigh my bad days. I don't talk to the clouds hang low. I can hardly see the road. I ask the question, Lord. Lord, why should this day just say thank you, Lord.